Hello, everybody. Today, what we're going to be doing is the first module out of several, focusing on your new KW website powered by Playster. Now, the object of today is to go over just the basics of what you need in order to activate your website and make it go live so that people, whether they're clients, COI, family, friends, or other people can find you, and then you can start cultivating your leads again. Now, what you're going to see is that this website is more functionable than the website that we had, which is the eEdge website. Now, just a side note, the eEdge website is still live, okay? So you're going to have two websites for at least another year. The important thing to take away from this webinar is to start focusing at least a little bit at a time at this new website, which is powered by Playster, because you're going to be a lot more of Playster going forward with KW and partnering with Keller Technology Systems. All right, so let's get started with your new website. Okay, so what you're starting to see right now is a more visually appealing website, which really mimics Trulia, Zillow, and those other third-party syndication websites that really attract a lot of leads, right? So the idea of these new websites is to get you more leads and also to give your clients, your leads, and everyone who comes to your website more of a value than before. So start with the basics. How do we get to the Playster dashboard? In other words, how do we get to start editing my website? So what you're going to do is log onto your eEdge system, so mykw.kw.com with your typical username and password. Once you get there, you're going to hover over the black bar on top, over technology. You hover over technology, about 1, 2, 3, 4 down, you're going to see KW Web, okay, where my cursor is. Once you click on that, you'll get to this screen labeled number 2, and you'll see more information on the Playster website. Now, once you have the Playster website available, you're going to see in the middle, your new website is ready. For those that don't see this, that just means that if you are brand new to the company, it might take a week from when we activated your eEdge for the website to be available to you, as long as you have two things activated, your KW email and your IDX, both of which should be connected by your agent services coordinator or market center technician. So please contact them if you have those activated and you're not seeing this go to my website link below. Okay, so once we do that, and again, this is what you will see once your website is ready, you'll get to your dashboard of your website powered by Playster. Now, what we're going to go over today, again, just the basics, is we're going to review something called View Details, which will show you the site details, and we're going to go into that more in depth next. We're going to touch upon your leads and how your leads cultivate in the system and how we can easily connect them to your Edge dashboard. Okay, so let's get started. You're going to notice a few things here, your website, and it's going to say site title because right now it's not branded towards you. And we're going to review what branding means once we get to that section. Okay. All right. So notice you also have launched site. So this site is not launched at all, which is great. So it puts you in control when you want this to be launched and made available to the public. So but first, what we're going to do is we're going to click on View Details. Okay. So once I click on View Details, that will take me to something called the Site Settings. Okay. And more options you see up here. So on top here, you see sites, marketing, leads. Now, don't worry too much about marketing. That's just, again, another marketing tool that will become available to you once we integrate more with Playster. But below that, you start to see some other options. So site settings, which we're currently on, pages, blog posts, agents, testimonial areas. We're not going to go too much into the last 4 just because, again, this is a very basic understanding of Playster. To view more about those options, look through the other modules on this series for the new website. Okay, so let's go ahead to the next page and we'll see what areas we're focusing on under the site designs. So it's important that you notice that once I hit site settings and you see under listings more options, that will appear on this page. Okay. So the red boxes are what we're going to focus on today. Again, we're going to focus on the basics. So these are the basic understanding tools that you're going to be needing to know about in order to make this website at least live or manageable. Okay. So the first one we're going to go over is something called an IDX integration. Next, we're going to go over how to feature properties, not just your own properties, but you can customize and add criteria to showcase any listings that are visible on your multiple listing service, whether you use CR um, Southern Adirondack MLS, or Columbia Greene County Northern Justice MLS. Okay. Then we're going to jump down to site design. And this is the most fun part of this tutorial is you get to choose your themes, other options to brand your website. So site theme selection is all about the look of your website, aesthetically pleasing. They give you options. You're just going to choose the option and brand even more on top of that. Next, we're going to go over the menu, what that means, and then we're going to finish up the site design section by reviewing site information. Again, this is where you're going to heavily brand your content and your page to make it your own. Finally, we're going to touch upon lead capture. Again, I'll give you the two options you can choose with lead capture. Lead capture is how you capture your visitors visiting your website and then in hopes to cultivate them and turn them from a lead to a client or a lead to some type of status other than being cold or non-responsive. So let's get started with the IDX integration. So when I click on the IDX integration, that will get me to this page over here. Okay, so this design of all the options on this navigation menu is going to be pretty much the same. So it's very basic and very easy to read. So one thing to point out is help options on the right-hand side of every page, which will give you detailed information and also tools and checklists to really make sure you understand each section. So again, another reason why we're using Playster is that more availability for support and more tools to help boost your business and your brand, since it's all about brand and not just Keller Williams. All right, so under IDX integration, now this should automatically be set up for you where you'll have your options of your MLSs. Now this is an example, so this is not applicable to every single market center or especially the Keller Williams Capital District Market Center. What you'll notice is the Keller Williams listing service is automatically selected. Now that's the KWLS, so that showcases all the listings across the country that belong to Keller Williams Associates. Below that, you're going to see your MLS. For Capital District Associates, what you're going to notice is CR MLS, which is Cap Regional MLS, and then you'll see either Southern Adirondack MLS or SA MLS, or you're going to notice the Northern Dutchess Greene County MLS. So you're going to choose your one MLS. Please note that you can only choose one of these. Okay, so there will be some additions to this rule later on, maybe by late summer, early fall. But for right now, you can only choose one MLS. So it's very understand that. So choose the MLS you would wish to join. Again, you can switch these, so you don't have to. This is not a permanent decision, so you can switch between the MLSs. Now, in order for you to have the MLSs appear under here, again, you have to have an IDX connection. So what IDX stands for is just a copy from the MLS that you belong to, and it syndicates all the information, including all the listings that are active and whatnot from your MLS you belong to. In this case, we have CRMLS, SAMLS, and GCMLS. So you're just going to simply click on use this MLS and hit save. If you don't see any of your MLSs in here, please contact your agent services coordinator, market center technician. Okay, once you choose your IDX, now you're going to have available your listings that you can then choose and showcase on your website. That kind of prompts us to the next section, which is about featured listings. So going over the right-hand side, when I click on featured listings over here, that's going to get me to this page. Now, what's really neat about Playster is they allow you to really be very specific, hone on to precise criteria that you can then feature on your website. In this case, we have featured listings. Now, featured listings, if I go back a few slides, are going to be showcased right down here where it says featured properties on this main page where we are. It's going to showcase about 4 to 6 or even 8 listings at a time, depending on what template theme you choose. Okay, so let's go back to where we were before. Again, we choose feature listings, and that's what got us to here. Now you can filter listings to showcase, or you can choose specific listings. I'm on the featured listings tab, and now I can in all these different criterias. This is amazing because before on your EDge website, you didn't have this availability. You always stuck with whatever MLS number you were given with. So you only change your listing. So if you're brand new to the business, or if you don't have any inventory of your listings or not on the team, you're not going to be displaying any listings. So this is a very good tool to use in order to kind of give more value and showcase more properties under your criteria that you set. Now, you can easily set more than one criteria. So here are the steps which are provided to you in the upper right corner. You can choose a criteria, one of several criterias, click the Add button, and then if you want to add more than one criteria, and then you click on or in the criteria value, whether it's bed and baths, or if it's days on market, or property type, or days on market. So you just type it in, hit search. When you hit search, you'll see how many are applicable in your MLS out of the total listings in that multiple listing service. So if I go ahead and click on search, right underneath the steps is what I will get. A list of search results of those listings that are to your criteria or criterias. Very important, after you do that, you hit save, and that will save that criteria the feature on your website. Okay, those listings will automatically go refresh and be different each time you load the page. So again, it gives you more value for your customers, clients, and leads that go on your website. Okay, so that's the feature listing section. Again, it's very intuitive, and again, there's plenty of help features on the right-hand side of every single one of these links. So feel free to reach out and to look at these articles. Playster is very heavy on support and gives a lot of value to you in order to understand these mechanisms to brand your business and to grow your business from your website. Jumping into site design on the right and left-hand side, we have theme selection. Now this is half of the theme selection page. Now the big thing here is you can choose between 7 templates. Now your default one is called the Madison theme, which is currently being showcased right in this display. But you can choose by clicking on these arrows on the side, 1 out of 7. And you can continually change these themes if you wish. They're interchangeable, and every time you click save on the editing part of this Playster site, it automatically updates. So it's an instantaneous change. So there's no wait time to see your results or to see your changes on your website. You can choose between different colors depending on the site theme you choose. The last 2 sections are going to be the headers. So you can choose between red and white. Then depending on the theme you choose, you'll have an option to put a statement above your slideshow. Now the slideshow, which is the next slide down, we're not going to review because you can choose between default slideshows, which are just every 5 seconds a new picture will load in your site design. But number 4 is optional, so it depends on what theme you choose, and that will be availability to create a statement right above that Omni box. See what the best place to find home in this case? That's where that displays from. Now that's not going to be used every single template, so just keep in mind. And again, always now head down further on the design tab, and then we're going to get to menu. Now this menu is going to look different from what you're going to be noticing your first time going in here. Defaultly, you have 5 pages, okay? And so what a menu really consists of is this menu is going to showcase to you all of the pages you currently have published on your website, okay? So you're going to have about 5 pages, and they're going to look like home, listing search, blog, contact, and your favorite listing. So these first 5 are what most likely you're going to be seeing when you first enter the menu section of the site designs. Okay? The object of these are just showing you the order in which they're going to be populated on the navigation bar. So let's go back real quick again to my first page here and showcase where those are. So see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links right here? These kind of mimic the menu. So it showcases it in the order of which is placed on this menu bar. Okay. So the menu is gonna tie very nicely with the pages. We're not gonna go over pages right now. That's considered an advanced setting. I want to make clear that the menu is displaying all the pages created in the order of which they're going to appear on the navigation bar. Okay? And you can always move them around by clicking on them and holding them and scroll up or down to place them in order. Finally, under the site design section, we're going to be reviewing site information. Now, this is a very, very important section because this is going to help integrate your brand into your website and make it non-generic. So when I talk about generic, generic means the standard case that they give you. In this case, what provides for you. So notice you're going to see brand name, tagline, update logo in the first section of this site information tab. So brand name is what you go by in your business. Now, typically when new agents join, their brand is their own name. So again, think of your brand as your brand, your business as important. That's why it sticks with what you're known as, and that's how you cultivate organic SEO. So SEO in this case means search engine optimization, or otherwise how search engines find you organically when people type in search tags in the Google, say a Google search page. And the tagline is going to tie in with your brand. So basically how you go, what your motto is. In this case, it's bridging your home in Northwest Austin. Notice it mentions home and Northwest Austin. In this case, Annie Agent, who is page we're looking on, she's branding herself to Northwest Austin. So notice it's a hyperlocal tag. So what I mean by hyperlocal is that is a location that's very specific. In this case, it's not just Austin, which is considered a very large city. It's Northwest Austin. So it's a little bit more local than just saying the city. In this case, we apply it to Albany. Albany, of course, is much smaller than Austin, but a hyperlocal example of Albany can be Washington Park area, or it can be downtown Albany, or in this could be Albany, because Albany is much smaller than a major metro area. Okay. Next, we're going to go to Update Logo. So to find your logo for your market center, you're going to go to Select KW Logo and then type in Capital District. In this case, that's the market center that we're showing an example of. Or to find your other market center logo, just go to KW Logo and start typing in. Now, it's very important in the state you're in to add your market center specific logo. In New York State, it's required to have your full license logo on there. So in this case, it's Keller Williams Capital District. So it's very important, depending on what state you're a part of, to abide by their Department of State rules for licensing. Okay, below you see something called a favicon. Now, again, I encourage you guys to read the help sections every time you're on more details of certain sections that you might not be aware of. Now, the favicon, which is showcased over here. Now, a favicon is basically an icon, and this icon is not going to be really seen as often as you think it will, but it's actually being displayed on a tab on your browser that shows that website. Okay, so I don't have an example for you right now, but a favicon basically is going to showcase on your tab on say Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, whatever browser you're using, is going to showcase that picture next to your website on the tab you're on in your browser. Okay, so it's not as important as you think, but again, it adds and brand yourself onto that. So again, I highly encourage you to put your logo or your portrait if you don't have a logo for your brand in there. Now you can notice contact details is getting cut off. So if I so by contact you put your contact information. In this case, it's Annie Agent, and then your email, which should be your KW email. Now scroll down, you see your office details. So office details is about your office specifically. So in the company, it should be your market center name. So in case of district center, it's going to be Keller Williams Capital District. And again, just repeat the email, and the phone number can be your business extension number. The case being in the Keller Williams Capital District Market Center, we have an extension for every agent. In this case, it would be 518 dash either 724 591 380, and then it's going to be dash the last four. So in this case, it's 3070. So make sure that the business number, followed by the address of where you serve out of, so either Saratoga Center or Delmar Business Center or our Latham Market Center. Now, the one thing that's going to give you, you might have a question on is something called SEO, which I briefly touched upon before. So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. What that, again, basically means is how you are found on the internet, right? In this case, most people go to Google. So Google owns between 85 and 90% of the market share when it comes to people searching on the internet. So in that case, going off that, you want to be found by Google, right? So the SEO box, every single section going forward, you're going to see is going to be displayed as meta title and meta description. So it's very important that you balance these two this section in accordance to what the page your box is attached to. So since we're in the site info section of our website, we want the SEO box to really appeal to that. So again, so notice the meta title is Homes for Sale in Northwest Austin. That sounds familiar, right? So back, notice the tagline, right? Says bringing your home in Northwest Austin. So again, she used Northwest Austin here and also back at a title. And she definitely put in reference to real estate homes and so she's putting in specific keywords that people might search upon when going into say Google, Yahoo, or Bing. Now meta description is more elaborating more on the content of that page. So meta description allows 105 characters of words and phrases. So you want to make sure that you put in there more of a description, right, of that title that you just summarized. So the reason why these are very important that you're going to notice that the meta title and meta description are actually going to be the results of when you search for a keyword on Google. So if I go to Google, type in homes for sale in Northwest Austin, okay, and I'm going to get a bunch of results. So typically when you're on Google and you search for a keyword, say homes for sale in Northwest Austin, you're going to get a title, right? It's in blue and hyperlink. That's actually the meta title of the results you get. That's where that appeals towards the meta title. Now below that you see in a light or dark gray font description of that link. It's actually called a meta description, where these two kind of interlinked with SEO and showcasing it on Google. So you want to make sure that you apply those hyperlocal keywords and phrases that people will search upon in your area that you're targeting in your real estate business, that it appeals to it on this SEO box. Now, just to summarize on this SEO box, is that this is going to be attached to every page you add going forward. So you want to make sure that it summarizes that specific page's content, not just your website. And don't copy and paste the box because it's not going to help boost organically, which organically means free on the search engines. Okay? And again, just hit save to save all that information. Okay. If you ever want to review or preview your site before it goes live, there's a view preview, um, button in the top right corner of your dashboard. So once you click on that, that's going to show you a preview of your website. Now to launch your website, you can easily go to launch site, and that will again launch your website and make it publicly available for people to look at and search upon. Now going about leads. Okay, so again, the main point of you having a website is to convert leads, right? To showcase your properties, to showcase your services to the general public, and getting them to click on your website, get interested, and want to create an account. That way you can convert them from a lead to a client or to a prospecting client. Okay, so under the More section, under lead capture, once you click on that, you'll get to this page. Now you notice that there's three options in this example. You're only going to see two, which is either passive capture leads or aggressive capture leads. This custom lead box is not going to showcase unless you upgrade to their Pro subscription, which we'll talk about in the next few slides. So let's just make a mental note that we're only talking about these two options right here. Okay. So passive leads, if you click on that, it's going to give you more information, but more importantly, what it really means is it's going to you have in order to see more properties. They don't create a account to see property descriptions or to see detailed property descriptions. Now, if I click on aggressively capture, kind of the opposite. So it kind of forces your leads to actually create an account or to log in order to see those property descriptions and search on properties. So you have those two to choose from. Again, you can choose them and switch them in and out whenever you get a chance. It's not gonna, there's no wait time for that to kick in. So again, anytime you save this information, it's gonna instantaneously update on your website. Okay. So going down below, you'll see something called lead forwarding. Now, lead forwarding is very important, especially if you want to use your eEdge My Contacts database, which I highly recommend. So in order for your leads to forward to your My Contact dashboard on your eEdge home screen, you want to make sure you type in your KW Realty email address. Now, in order to find this email address, which is not your kw.com email address, you need to your dashboard on your eEdge dashboard and go to My Marketing plus symbol, Manage eEdge website, then click on My Account, and that will show you what KW Realty email is, which will follow suit to this example where I'm hovering over right now. So you're gonna copy and paste that into this email box and hit save. Notice you can add more than one email address in here. So maybe you want to add your KW, that way you get notified via email too, and that way it automatically adds it to your dashboard as well. So keep in mind, it's very convenient then to just continue using your eEdge My Contacts and My Leads database going forward. Okay. Now, a good question is, how do I find my leads? So going back to your site settings or the home screen of your view details section on Playster, next to marketing, there's a button for leads. So when I click on leads, that's going to get me to this screen right here. Okay. So anything in the circle right here is going to be extra for Pro subscribers. Now the reason for that is it's considered another CRM, which you currently have with eEdge. So this is Placer's version of that, which I don't suggest you going into right now until you take my Pro module class, which I have later for you guys, or go to a class that's offered in your market center about the Pro subscription, because it is an add-on cost. So it shows you your leads, and again, you can always add anything by hitting the plus symbol, and that's going to add a lead. So you can use it as a basic level for a basic lead CRM. But again, I highly recommend you forward your leads to eEdge to continue using their classification system, since you get that included in your market center investment dues per month. Okay, so I have two examples here. So I went ahead and signed myself up twice as two different names. Okay, so I fooled around here, and the first lead I have is Jake from Farm. Okay, um, so notice it classifies if it's a new lead or a lead. So a new lead will be someone who's brand new for a week. The day they created their account, their score, which you see is in different colors, resembles a stoplight. So red, green, and yellow. Their type, which I haven't labeled myself as a type, and if they were contacted or not, and their you can also add custom fields within your leads as well once you open up their profile. Okay, so it mimics closely what's provided you, but if you really use their CRM in terms of Playster, you're going to want to get into their Pro subscription, which we'll talk about next. All right, so here is the extras that you can subscribe to being a quote unquote pro user for this website. So in order to upgrade to a pro website, it'd be $55 a month. And again, that gives you something called IDX pages, which are an incredible, useful tool to really index and list specific listings by different criteria. That way your leads, your COI, anyone who's going to your website can easily find those listings. And also boost organically, right? Organic means free, your SEO, right? So of your local service areas. So it's very important that if you really want to use your website to to showcase on Google, is that this might be a good tool for you to buy into. Now, again, I highly recommend going through the Pro module or going to the next website class that offers or use the Pro features to get a better sense of what you're investing into. There's also a marketing service they provide, which is paid yearly. Again, I don't recommend signing up for these right now, but again, getting through the basics is a good understanding and going to the advanced sections and then looking into Pro once you went through all the modules or went through all the classes being offered regarding these features. So at the end of this module, you'll see the contact information for Playster, and then you can call them to get more information on these two sections. Okay, so now that we went through all the basics, you're now free to launch your website and make it go live. So everyone else on the internet to find you. Okay, so you're going to hit launch site, confirm it, and then it'll be launched. And that way you can start typing in your website and finding it and viewing it as an outside person. So in this case. Just to review, always make note of the help tips on the right-hand side of every page and look at some helpful videos and articles that Placer provides to you under the help button. All right, so let's review some focus points and what to really look into first. So note that Placer.com has a great market academy. So it talks about SEO tips, how to find free pictures, how to enhance your Placer website, and really get people to flock to a value source for your real estate business. Another great link is this link that's below the first bullet point, which gives you non-copyrighted high-def images. So these are those royalty-free photos that you can tap into. Next, you want to start brainstorming blogging tips and thinking hyperlocal, okay? Which we'll review during the next module, which talks about blog. Next, we're gonna, it's a great resource to join the Placer KW Mastermind group by on this link below. If you have a Facebook account, I highly recommend joining this group. Thousands of KW associates from across the world, and also especially the United States, use this to kind of come together and to share ideas, to share failures, and to give each other tips and updates as in about what's going on with the new website. Also, if you belong to a team or a team leader for in your market center, you want to start thinking about how do I want to format my website to be team oriented. And there's actually another module attached to this to then showcase to you how to do that. So look out for that. And next, you can go into these several examples to kind of how your website will look if you do the basics. Okay, and here's these two listed below, one of which is my website that I currently have. All right, and what to look forward to in the near future. So the websites are optimized on every device, meaning that they're available on mobile app, iPad, tablets, and most importantly, your computers. People can access them in a aesthetically pleasing manner. That way they don't have to click on more than 5 or 6 links to get to what they want. And also it formats to the screen that their device fits. So 3 things to kind of look into is the mobile access. So eventually we're going to have a mobile app access to kind of edit your website. That way, if you're on the go and you have your tablet or an iPad or a phone, you can access the end of your website on those mobile devices. Also, there's more features being added to the Pro subscription, so look into that as well. And then, of course, take full advantage of the Real Estate Marketing Academy Playster via playster.com. Okay, so if you have any questions and you belong to the Keller Williams Capital District Market Center or Business Centers, you may book me at jpug.youcanbook.me and follow the instructions of how to do that on my website. And I highly suggest attending the next website class that is being offered, whether it's a specific module class where we're reviewing a very specific topic, or it's going to be a general topic of the website. It's very important that you actually attend those in person, rather than just viewing the modules online as a webinar. That way you can ask questions and kind of feed off of what your fellow associates are talking about or asking questions in the Market Center. Please go to the internet calendar to see those classes and to reserve a seat. And finally, you can find more information, especially if your agent services coordinator or Market Center tech is not available weekends or after, say, 5 o'clock. Please utilize these contact points. So one of which is support-kw@playster.com, or you can call the Playster hotline at 800-713-8068, or you can call the KWRI number, International Support Center, at 512-306-7111, and extension 4 will get into the Playster hotline KW support. All right, and that is the module for the basics of your KW website. Now, one question that might be asked is, what is my domain for my website? If I were to go to my website and my website comes up, what is it going to be showing as? Now, your KW website is going to be your email or username that you log into eedge.kw.com. It mimics what your KW was, which is your username.kwrealty.com. In this case, it's just chopping out the realty, so it makes it a shorter. As always, you can feel free to go to the kwdomainstore.com or GoDaddy and domains to point to these websites to mask them, so it looks more appealing on a sign or business card. And again, it affirms your brand. Now, to learn about how to do those domain masking options, make sure you take a look out for other modules that show more advanced settings next. All right, so just to summarize, we want to know the site settings, so the IDX integration, feature listings, the theme selections, what the menu options mean, site info, which is your brand information, and then lead capture. So please take note of the support tools that are available to you pretty much throughout the entire day, Monday through Friday, for Playster and KW International. And also be on the lookout for my other modules.